if you hear this today and you think, my God, that sounds like fill in the blank, call us. Make an anonymous tip.
As poor as this picture is, somebody knows. And if you're watching, we'll find you.
But I really believe that over time we're going to have an idea that we were onto something early on. We were onto something early on.
The unique field because of the community outreach, and because we had a video, we had audio of our killer, and I can tell you, sitting in that command center a week afterwards, it just seemed like we were on the right track, and here we are almost 3 years later.
Take a look inside that investigation. This is Ground Zero, the command center for detectives in Delphi. There are volunteers manning the front desk around the clock. There's even a lie detector machine in one of the rooms there. Pictures of the girls, encouraging messages from local high schoolers, they hang on the walls. They chase thousands of tips, but still aren't sure if their main suspect is local or from another state.
I don't want people to think that we've given up, that we've pushed our chairs back and said we're finished, because that's not the case.
No, not even close. I said all along, once we finish, we're going to start all over again.
Yeah.
I don't believe in a cold case.
Right.
With technology today, the way in which human beings communicate today, and with the interaction, I remember Jerry Holman and the sheriff of Carroll County saying once, when we're all done, we're going to start all over.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we'll do.
Absolutely.
You say eventually the world is going to know. Does that mean you are close, in your opinion?
I think we're closer every day. We're closer every single day. The tips keep coming. And once that comes in, once that completes itself, then we're going to have to assign another 60 or 80 detectives to this and go back through every single lead that we've ever gotten. I'm confident that there'll be a successful conclusion. People have said, did you think it'd be a year? I don't know. I don't know. How do you answer that question? I believe we're one piece of the puzzle away from figuring out who this individual is. Then the real work begins. Over 30,000 tips. Thank heavens the FBI was engaged with us, with the Orion system and the expertise that the FBI brought from all over the country to allow us to manage that kind of data. We've had inquiries and requests for discussion from agencies all over the country, not only because this is such a high-profile case, but because of the complexities associated with the time since we found their bodies a year ago tomorrow.
How many tips did police receive early on, and how did you sort through what was potentially helpful and what wasn't?
Well, we had so many we couldn't manage them early on. And we're up to around 46,000 now. That's why we brought in the system the FBI offered. That helped us not only collect that, because remember, we can't, even though we collect it, we have to know what the action was, because I think that we're just one tip away. So we have to make darn good and sure that we follow up on those tips that are appropriate, that we properly catalog them, because once the arrest is made, the investigation starts all over again.
Yep.
So that's when the real work's going to begin again. So it's really important that we track data.
Yeah, and it's important to keep some of that stuff to yourself, right? So that you have that when we go to trial.
We know a lot.
Yep.
But I've seen such enormous outpouring of support, and not just for people dressed funny like me, but for really for everybody up there. They taught us a lot about humility, and they taught us a lot about human interaction, and a lot about caring for one another, and they didn't even know it. They didn't even know it at the time.
The Delphi police station behind us, you can see the second floor windows are darkened there. They have been bright every night because it's been 24/7 an operation where they're getting calls in from people. That tip line was based right up there. It's dark now because it's been moved to Washington, D.C., but the search for answers continues here on the ground. Photo of the call center that fielded 4,000 tips. The operation now moved to the FBI in Washington. Half those tips came in after police released this Wednesday.
The person or persons who killed Libby German and Abby Williams. The reward fund continues to grow. This stack of donations arrived over the weekend.
We're here for the long haul.
A task force of 20 police agencies moved into a new, bigger, more permanent headquarters on Delphi's town square. 9,000 tips and more than 100 detectives working almost 2 weeks since the girls were found murdered haven't been able to identify a single suspect.
Well, I think anytime we receive information and we're able to even just cross a suspect off our list, we're making
And tip line, just anything that you might know, please call it in, because we want to make sure that these people are brought to justice for Libby and Abby's sake.
On Thursday, the Delphi murder tip line that was running through 10 phone lines in the upstairs of the Delphi Municipal Building has now been rerouted to Washington, D.C. and the FBI Major Case Contact Center, where 150 people can monitor the lines. In the last 24 hours, more than 1,300 tips have rolled in by phone and another 400 by email. But as those tips come in and are checked out, the sheriff says don't expect to hear too much from law enforcement.
When we're at the end of the day with this, we're going to end up in this building over here at our county courthouse with this case. And so, from our perspective, obviously, we have to make sure we've got it right.